here. All right, so the NBA draft lottery is set, Ante. We'll just talk top 5 because that's all that matters. I mean, this is really a weak draft class, so we can get into that because you know more about these players than I do. Yep. I think this is such a weak draft class. I don't even have the interest that I usually do because I know they all stink. Hawks first pick, Wizards second pick, Rockets third, Spurs fourth, Pistons fifth.
Yep.
Look, the first thing that jumps out to me seeing the Hawks with the number 1 pick is I think Trae Young's going to get moved. I mean, you and I both kind of already felt that way.
Yeah.
It's clear the Dejounte Murray, Trae Young thing doesn't work. Mm-hmm. So at this point, because Dejounte Murray has been there less time and you did give up a lot to get him, I feel like maybe you've reached the ceiling with Trae Young. He did get you to an Eastern Conference Finals years ago, but even that felt flukish, and then they got stomped. So, it's probably time to move on. I think you move Trae Young now that you have the first pick, and you tell me who's a good replacement for him in this draft, because I don't think this is a great draft. So who could they – if they were to move Trae Young and they get more assets, more players, whatevs – who's someone they could take at 1 that could fill that role and try that player with Dejounte Murray?
Yeah, well, if they end up making this trade, I will actually get to that maybe at the 4th spot here. I'll talk a little bit about that with the Spurs. If they end up making the trade, I know there's been kind of a talk with that. But with the first pick, I would like them to take Alex Sarr out of France. I think that's kind of a foregone conclusion that he's going to be the number 1 guy. He's supposed to be pseudo Wemby, but I really don't see it as far as his shooting ability.
So
and his
he
shot
could
creation.
work even if they keep Trae Young.
Yeah, I would say so, but I think he's going to be good for this team either way because they're going to have Dejounte, who's going to be able to play make for this dude who's really not a playmaker at this point in his career.
Sure,
he hopefully looks like he can be able to shoot the ball out to the three-point line consistently at some point in his NBA career. But you know that you're going to get a kid who's athletic, runs the floor really well, is able to switch 1 through 5, and he's 7'1". So you have to take a guy like that in that system who, with a team that really struggled defensively this year, he'll be able to help them out really quickly. So, yeah, that's what I got to say about them.
So you're thinking Trae Young to the Spurs.
Yes.
Listen, that works. Trae Young and Wemby complement each other as far as their games go. Yeah. Wemby can do everything. Trae Young, really at his best, is really just a great, I would say great scorer, but more so great shooter.
Yep.
I wonder, I've been saying Popovich should be gone for years now, but he's still there, and it's clear he's going to be there. I wonder if Trae Young and Popovich works. That's a question.
That is a good question. But, yes, if that trade were to happen, the guy to replace, like you were asking me about earlier, would be Rob Dillingham. I think he's the guy who is able to facilitate as well as Trae Young can facilitate. And he is instant offense. He's electric every time he has the ball in his hands. He can shoot the ball, score on all 3 levels. I think he would be the guy that kind of replaces Trae in Atlanta. But I'm not 100% sure that he is as good as Trae. He's not an exact clone of him, but he can definitely get the job done.
All right, by the way, keep your eye on the Rockets at 3.
Yes.
I mean, listen, I know this is a weak draft, but Ime has that young team heading in the right direction. I would love to see them get someone that can get right in the rotation and help out, not take a project. Get someone that can help you now because Ime has that team going in the right way. All right, how about this? WNBA is getting an expansion team in Toronto. Yeah. That's huge. Look, the WNBA has it going on right now, Ante. I think it is awesome. If you look around right now, the game is growing. The league is growing in popularity and ratings. These players are starting to get chartered flights, long overdue.
Yep.
We know eventually, sooner rather than later, the money's going to start to catch up and these salaries are going to go up. I love this for basketball.
Yeah.
I mean, good for Toronto, obviously, but I just love that the WNBA is expanding and growing and heading in the right direction. This is great for basketball, Ante.
Yeah, it is great for basketball as a whole. They're getting the opportunity to go international.
Yeah.
The WNBA used to have 16 teams actually back in 2000. Now they'll be expanding with them, also adding a team in San Francisco to 14 teams.
Yep.
There's a lot of talented women who have been cut, like Bria Bill. I know she's been brought up recently because she just recently got cut by the Aces. But a lot of talented women are like her who are champions at the college level, who play really good basketball, who are going to be at home.
That's right.
Now there's going to have the opportunity to play in the WNBA and show off their talent. So this is an absolutely great thing for basketball.
Absolutely.
Like
that's well said. Let's keep it going with the WNBA. A'ja Wilson has a signature shoe coming next year, Ante. She's the first black woman with a signature shoe since 2010 when Candace Parker did it.
Yep.
How'd that work out for her? I mean, she's an all-time player. And then, you know, now she's an ambassador for basketball and also, oh, by the way, running Adidas. So, you know, look, if A'ja Wilson can do all that, I mean, she has a game. Can she become an all-time great and then post-playing career have the same impact that Candace Parker's had? I think it's great for her as well.
Yeah, I would agree. A'ja has an opportunity to do something really special here. I hope Nike does right by her and gives her a shoe that fits her personality. She's bold. She's great. She's amazing. She's talented, electric every time she has a basketball in her hand. I hope Nike obviously gives her an opportunity to show that personality in her shoe as well.
Hey, I'm going to do my part. I'm going to get my daughter a pair as long as they're not priced too damn high. You know, I'm balling on a budget, Ante.
Yes, sir.
WNBA starts tomorrow. Fever, Caitlin Clark. Guess who they're playing? Connecticut Sun. Hoyo! I'm fired up for it. I want to see how they defend her. She had 12 points in the Fever's home debut during the preseason. So I feel like she's still trying to get in the groove here. But I'm more interested. Obviously, everyone wants to see her, but I want to see how the Sun defend her.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how the Sun defend her as well. The last time they played a real basketball game that doesn't include preseason, they played the New York Liberty, who have Sabrina Ionescu, who is also the best shooter in the WNBA right now. So I think they have an opportunity to come out and make a statement.
Sure.
And say, hey, we learned from our playoff failure last year. We have an opportunity to get kind of a look at what, you know, Sabrina is looking like because they'll probably play them again in the playoffs this year. So I think they come out and try to make a statement. I'm excited to see it. I think Caitlin's going to end up having a great game, but I am excited to see how the Connecticut Sun defend her as well.
Me too, man. We got to get to some games.